Gundam.tk presents SD Gundam Age-2, Normal and Double Bullet. Hey, what's up again everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs from GundamReviews.net. And anyway, today I could not be more excited to be building the Gundam Age-2. I'm talking about the normal and the double bullet, only two variations in here, unlike what we saw with the Age-1 normal Titus and Sparrow. But it is cool because remember, this is a transforming Gundam in both of its forms, so it's going to be really cool to see what they can pull off with these pretty impressive looking high grades, as you may have seen there, once they get Chiba-fied. May 2012 release to coincide with the HG Age-3. SDs have certainly increased in price, and you can see it here, 1,000 yen, but remember they're going on HG in quality. I wouldn't call it cool cover art, but it's certainly cute there. Made by Bandai, you can see it's an interesting font they chose to use here for the SD from the Age line. And you can see BB Senshi, very long running, ridiculous almost, 371 in. When the SD Age-1 came out, remember that it actually came with three, the normal, the Sparrow, and the Titus you can see there. So of course I was silly enough to go out and get all three of them, because if you want to display them simultaneously, you're going to have to do that. They're just going to be giving you the chest part and the head basically, and then you just swap the limbs on and off. Something that some people asked to see in the high grade and the other grades, but anyway, with SD, that's where they actually did it. With the Age-2, however, in the anime, we've only seen two of the wares so far, between the normal and the double bullet. There is a color variation, so perhaps a third one, but because of the transformation, conceivably, at the moment, I can imagine buying 5, although that's probably getting a little bit ridiculous, considering that there's probably more to come. For a look around the box, it's best to start with the normal, I suppose, here. You can see that it's got a shield, as they're pointing out there, but it's going to be the binders in the head. The SD Gundam, of course, the big oversized head, it's got to be pulled off well, so we'll see how they do with the model form there. However, these binders are looking really, really sharp. This can transform, and that's going to lead to an intriguing use of the top of the head there. You can see that in the high grade it actually collapses downward. With this one, I wonder if they're just going to be giving you an extra part. The Hyper Dodge there looks good in the hand with some blue parts there. I wonder if they'll cheap out and it'll be all gray. And you can see that it's going to attach onto the front. The back there, of course, you're going to have the choice of the eyes. As you may have seen with my Age-1, I went 2 out of 3 cartoony and 1 serious for the normal. But for the double bullet, you're actually going to be swapping off the limbs, it looks like, because the legs there are going to look a little bit different, and he's got the red cuffs there. Hopefully that's plastic and not his seals, as we can see. Probably some seals involved there for the weapons up on the shoulders there. You've got gray, red, gray, and white, which are looking pretty detailed. And this transformation is nowhere near as cool as a Strider form, I'd say, although it is looking cool from the back. In terms of the action and the weapons, you can actually pop these out here when you have the twin Dodge cannons. You can have them inside the red. I'd imagine that they'd pivot around or put them in hand. You are going to have a beam saber, probably not clear pink there to go along with the binders. And as a gimmick for the SD, if you want to hand them up old samurai armor style, yes, you can have one of the wares on there while the other one is in use on the body. Interesting that they went with the double bullet over here for the CG art, and how cool would it be to get a lot more effect parts here. The SD Age-1 sort of gave you half, I suppose, what the Titus's ones conceivably that he could have. You'd have to buy more to fully load him up. Would have been nice if we had some big oversized ones, and I'm only dreaming here, but they could have been used by the HG perhaps. I suppose we have to wait for the master grade. Over here, you're going to see how you put them together. You've got this one, the normal, and that's going to transform into the Strider mode there. And then you've got double bullet, which is going to turn into this one. In terms of the gimmicks and the other things you're going to have that standing base there to put all the armor on. I'd imagine that you can pop this off if you want to have this flying around. I'm just guessing. You've got the shield here. Wonder if it's going to be white and blue. All white, as I suspected, sadly, for the beam saber. Looks like the Dodge rifle, though, is going to have some blue parts on. And you can see inside that this is as many plates as a high grade. So the days of 300 SDs have really gone by the wayside, and a little bit worrying that there's a big sticker sheet there beside it. To crack this open, though, what you're going to be seeing is some polycaps there, that big seal sheet, white, yellow, blue, and red. Never get tired of seeing that on an A plate there. And as you go inside, you're going to have 2 plates of gray, it looks like, one just for the base, and the B plate is going to be a full plate there of white with 2 head parts there, looking sort of interesting, to go along with the manual. Great looking A-plate, but then again, it's clearly not a high grade just because of the size and the oversizedness of some of these parts here, and their cartoony nature, but then again, it's still looking pretty sharp. Let's start with the white here, where you're going to have the shield, and it looks like it's going to have some blue part there missing. The shoulders to put that on, the limbs for one of them, that's probably for the normal there. But overall, you're going to have these blue parts here, big parts that these are going to provide the mounts, and you can see that they're quite deep. Looks like another part is going to pop onto the top there. I'd imagine these are for the dods, and you're going to have some parts here for the feet. It's really cool that they've got front and backs. That's probably going to be needed in the transformation if they're actually going to allow them to bend. Then you're going to have some common parts here for the chest, the side skirts. These are going to be the cuffs for the normal, and it's really cool the way that they put this part in for the chest. You're going to have the yellow part coming forward and these yellow parts on the side to go along with the neck. Incredible details again in a kit this size. And this part, unlike the Age-1, which actually had front and back yellow skirts, you're just going to have this one here. And as you look at the red, a lot of this is going to be for the double bullets. Its feet here are looking identical to the normal. These parts, sure enough, are not going to have the gray or the white. I'd imagine seals are going to be used for some of that. You're going to have a common waist section, an old school SD kind of head there with the goatee and the eyes that you can put the seal on. And how great is this, that you're going to have very small, intricate parts to put on the head for the V-fin and the waist section. SD Age-2 is written on all the plates, so I'd imagine we can rule out a pirate variation at the moment, although again, I'm just speculating based on that intro. In terms of the actual parts here, big parts for the binders there, light aligning opportunity, similar to the high grade. A disappointing beam saber, although it is flattened instead of a round one. Different set of legs there to go along with the feet, I'd imagine those will be in common. Here's your waist section that you'll swap the yellow part on and off. Some cool looking parts there, which mean you should be able to bend the elbows there. And it looks like here's what they're going to do for the head. You've got the back of the helmet, and you've got the front of the helmet to go along with the main part there, and the back of the red head there. And what you're going to have here is just the top of a head, which is going to be really cool because that's going to go into the Strider form or the double bullet transformation. And you're not going to, I wondered if you would detach the top of the head or try to bury an SD size head. Didn't seem to make sense if one piece of plastic is going to take care of that. But if you look at the details, this one here is going to have 3 hollow parts there, which is going to look great for the parts that come below. I'd imagine you're going to have lots of camera seals to put on there. This one, though, is going to be solid, so you'd have to seal that up if you want all of the color combinations. The C plate is just for the Age-2 as you'd expect, and you've got the Hyper Dods looking okay over here. It's going to have the handle and everything built right into it, but compared to, say, the Advanced grade with their very flat guns, certainly cool to see something so 3D and very cartoony, although a little bit disappointingly hollow. You've got the Twin Dods rifles, which are going to look great for the double bullet, but of more importance here is just the amazing details that they're putting into the head here. Can't believe it with the small red jewel to go along with the white part there and all the little details. But you're actually going to have a gray part to go underneath the red part, which is really going to bring the SD head to life. Very, very impressed. In terms of the hands, you're not going to have any different color manipulator covers there. These should be white. I don't know if there'll be seals yet for that. And you're going to have this part if you want to put the stand together and have the armors, the wares, sitting somewhere when not in use. And that will sit on top of the SV1, which isn't listed as being for any kit here. Bandai 2010 is all that's written. And you can take that large part, put it on here, and you can also have this regular part. So hopefully that's going to be useful when you transform it and you want to get it up aerial. PC303 is going to provide the movement there with some old PC9s, if you want to call them that, and some cool looking parts there to put everything together. The seals both impress and disappoint. A little bit disappointing that you need them at all, but anyway, some other really cool parts. You've got the 2 sets of eyes there, cartoony and fierce, and you've actually got 4 of these cool looking distinct green parts. These are going to go on the side of the red jewel on the Age-2's head, and remember that he's got 2 of the tops of the head, so you can put that on the one that's going to go onto the Strider mode or on here. The very cool looking camera lenses there, and you're going to have these parts here. This is going to go on the regular head. It worked well, surprisingly, despite the fact that the head is very rounded. They've got some little tick marks there that are going to help it let it sit on a curved surface. They do at least provide a blue seal there to go on top of the shield, so the all-white is not that disappointing. You can see the all-important chest part there. I wish the AGs came with that. And you're going to have a little bit of white and some big ugly parts there. Those are going to go on the Twin Dods cannons of the double bullet. Would have been nice if we had just a few more color apps actually done in plastic. The manual rearranges the cover there, and Age-2 double bullet written as one word. The plates on the inside, directions on how to, and you're going to build up the heads there. It doesn't say to build the second one yet. You put together the normal, and once that's done, they're just telling you to pop off all the parts. You may see all those stickers that are going to go on the Twin Dods, that again, disappointing. But you can put them in hand, which is great. Swap some shoulder parts off. This is how you put it into Strider mode, and you're just going to put on the top of the head there. And you are going to be able to bend the feet down, which is looking cool, although it looks like you pop them off and put them back on. Cool that they've got an original gimmick built in here. It looks like you can swap off the legs, put those on, and they're going to give you a special mount part. And what you can do is you can take the Twin Dods cannons and put them on the binders. And how cartoony and SD appropriate is that? For the Strider mode, it looks like you've got this joint part here, and you can also attach both of these, including having guns going forward and the parts going backwards, which are going to look good. And here's how you put them on the old school stand down there. You can even put the helmet on there, and the large head when it's not in use. You can put one on the back, one on the front. Cheesy comics there with Age-2 looking surprised at various things, and some very cool looking, very cartoony art. It's very appropriate, and I can't help but wonder if we're going to be getting a third one. A great unbox, I'd say, so far, with some amazing looking plates. It is just absolutely unbelievable for me to see how far STs have come, but the thing that's probably impresses me the most is just that it's got that gimmick of putting the normal and the double bullet together. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. A few too many seals, but we'll see how it works in practice. Anyway, everybody, thanks very much for checking this out, and stay tuned for the parts and the MSs all put together. We'll see you next time. Bye.